Hello, my delectable darlings. Today on Sowell Says, we're talking about ratchet rage. More specifically, beauty-induced ratchet rage, or for those who prefer a clinical term, aesthetic overstimulation syndrome. And before we dive in, I want to start with a reality check. If you're going to wear certain styles like strenuous hair, long acrylic nails, and false lashes, you've got to practice saying this little mantra to yourself. I'm not as mad at this person or the world as I think I am. This is just my cortisol levels making me stressed from my beauty routine, and I need to either rein it in and act like an adult or excuse myself from the situation. I promise this will help your life so much. But anyways, let's talk about what ratchet rage really is. Because I know some people are going to be like, you're attacking race or class or culture. But this is about biology, something that affects every human regardless of where you come from in the world or your history. It's what happens when the pursuit of beauty keeps your nervous system under constant low-grade stress, and you do not even realize it. You're not just used to it because the back brain knows it's still going on. And we've all seen it. An example would be someone who looks incredible, hair, nails, makeup, lashes, but their mood flips constantly to dramatic and on edge, and they're actually chemically irritated. When the body stays under physical strain, the hair, the long nails, the glued lashes, shapewear, your brain starts tuning out the discomfort. So the somatosensory cortex, that's the part of your brain that tracks touch and pressure, stops sending the alert, but your limbic system, which is your emotional center, and your autonomic nervous system, the part that runs your hormones and heart rate, never stop reacting. And the result is a slow, steady drip of cortisol and adrenaline. And those are the same chemicals that are released when you're in danger. And so altogether, that's called sensory suppression. Your mind ignores it, but your body pays for it all day or sometimes weeks at a time. And there are three big triggers, what I call the Three Horsemen of the Apocobitch, pardon the potty mouth. Number one is the hair. Tight ponytails, slick buns, weaves, wigs, braids, dreads. They all pull on nerve-dense scalp tissue, and adding a bonnet or wrap to preserve it overnight adds heat to your scalp and it never gets to rest. So poor blood flow plus bad sleep equals higher cortisol and irritability that loops day to day. Then number two are the lashes. They mess with blinking rate, your eye focus, your eye muscle strain, your brain compensates, and fatigue sets in. And number three are the acrylic nails. Acrylic long tips dull fingertip nerves and force your brain to guess how to grip. This mismatch builds tension in your forearms and shoulders by the end of the day, and it's irritability in disguise. So now you layer in tight shapewear or restrict breathing with synthetic fabrics that trap heat, and heavy jewelry that adjusts your posture, forces you to subconsciously be aware of your movement. You're living inside of a full body pressure cooker, and one day, bam, the next time someone says something that doesn't click with you, the card reader breaks, you can't find a parking space, it turns into a viral ratchet moment. And what makes this worse is it causes a psychological performance mindset on the daily. When you live in a don't mess up my look mentality, like don't sweat, don't scratch, don't move too much, your brain stays in a constant state of social vigilance. And that's a real psychological term for always subconsciously asking yourself, who's looking at me? Is everything in place? And it's not all vanity. It's a survival mode disguised as self-presentation. And the problem is that with this vigilance, it keeps your body in a mini fight or flight, even when nothing's wrong. And you think the world is making you tense. But it's actually your body's stress chemistry reacting to your beauty routine. And it isn't about shaming glam, it's about naming the biology that's doing this to you. It's not saying don't wear weaves, braids, extensions, lashes, or nails. It's saying if you're going to do it responsibly. And most importantly, get them installed safely. Don't over tighten, take breaks between fills and installs so your body can reset. And most importantly, know how to label what's actually happening when you start to feel on edge. You can love beauty and still stay self-aware. I 100% promise. You can be glamorous without being combustible. That's a big thing. And I'm not talking down to anyone because I've lived this. I was a pageant kid. I was a cyber goth that did dreads and dread falls. I worked for a corset maker and had to teach the clients the life of wearing a corset and the irritability and stress that can come from it. I also used to apply and wear FX makeup. So I've worn it, taught it, experienced it, and I've felt the overload myself. And right now, when it comes to me talking about this to you, if you feel like this little bit about science is feeling like an attack, that's actually not me hitting a nerve. That's your cortisol talking, because you're probably stressed from all these nerve signals. And my final thought that I want to share with you is if your look makes you feel powerful, that is amazing. But if it keeps you edgy, irritable, or drained, be honest, at least with yourself in the moment, about what's really going on. Because it's not diva energy. It's not don't get in my way. It's that your stress chemistry is misfiring and making you go, I gotta do something about this. And it's not healthy. So next time you feel that wave of annoyance or aggression, take a beat and remind yourself, this isn't the world testing me, it's my cortisol talking. Then either rein it in like an adult or excuse yourself until you're calm. Because beauty should enhance your life, not hijack your nervous system. Simple as that. Look good? Absolutely. But don't let your glam become a trigger. And remember, whatever you do, do it so well.